All my fellow brothers and sisters, peace be with you in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. My name is Ben, and I welcome you to the Restored Ephraim Publications channel. Today we're going to continue studying the Book of Enoch. And if you're new here and you like this version of the Book of Enoch, you can get a free copy of it in the link in the description of this video. I actually have two links. The first one doesn't work so well anymore. The second one is much better. And the second one is a Google Doc, and so it should be accessible. And also, if you're new here, I highly recommend that you watch the previous Book of Enoch videos. There's a lot of really great information and help bring you up to where we are now. On YouTube and YouTube, I have a playlist. On BitChute, I don't, but you can see what chapters are which in the title of each video. And today we're going to cover chapter 45 to 47. And this section is really interesting because it will show you that the way that people think of God the Father and Jesus Christ, though the way that the apostate Christianity understands it is that God the Father and Jesus Christ are really the same being, just put through different manifestations. But in the book of Enoch, we will see that God the Father and Jesus Christ are two separate individuals, which is the truth that Joseph Smith restored to the earth. And so a lot of people like to say that this part of the Book of Enoch is a later edition, that it was was created by Christians. But if it was created by later Christians, it would not have a different theological concept than is present in the Christianity at that time, because they would have been apostate Christians and followed the Catholic doctrine that there's three gods in one, and it's the same substance. Let's go ahead and get started. It says, "This is the second parable concerning those who deny the name of the Lord of the spirits and the congregation of the saints. Heaven they shall not ascend, nor shall they come on earth. This shall be the portion of sinners who deny the name of the Lord of the spirits, and who are reserved for the day of suffering and tribulation." So the beginning part of this section is a warning to those who deny the name of the Lord of the spirits and the congregation of the saints. As a result of their wickedness, it says, they shall not ascend into heaven, and nor shall they come on the earth. What this is in reference to is that because they're wicked, they can't ascend into heaven to a higher degree of glory, and they cannot remain on this earth, which will belong to a higher glory. And so they are destroyed out of this earth and will go to a place where they meet for that glory. And it says this is the portion of sinners, and who are reserved for the day of suffering and tribulation. Then it says, "On that day mine elect one shall sit upon a throne of glory, and shall choose their conditions in countless habitations, and their souls shall grow strong within them when they see mine elect one. those who have appealed to my glorious name. So the elect one is a reference to Jesus Christ. And in the day of the removal of the wicked, says, or that could just be read as the time. So during that time period, the elect one, this is the Lord speaking as the Lord of the spirits, who is God the Father. So he says, mine elect one shall sit upon a throne of glory and shall choose their conditions in countless habitations. And so the people on the earth shall be judged. The righteous shall go on to greater things. The wicked shall be cast out into a lower level. And the Lord Himself is set as the one who is over that process. It says, and their soul shall grow strong within them when they see mine elect one, those who have appealed to my glorious name. And so those who appeal to the name of the Lord, they shall be strengthened when they see the elect one, but the wicked will be weakened and destroyed. It says, on that day I will cause mine elect one to dwell in the midst of them. I will transform heaven and make her a blessing of light forever. I will transform the earth and make her a blessing, and I will cause mine elect ones to dwell upon her, but those who have committed sin and iniquity shall not tread upon it. And so the elect one, who is Jesus Christ, he will dwell in the midst of the righteous on the earth, and heaven will be transformed and earth will be transformed. And that's completely biblical, because we know that at the end the Lord will bring about a new heaven and a new earth. But it won't. It's not so much that they're new; it's that they're lifted up and transformed into something greater. Referring to that they receive more glory, and the wicked, it says, shall not tread upon it, because they are of a lesser order, so they cannot dwell in a higher order. So they are removed out of this earth and put where they belong. And it says, for in peace I have looked upon my righteous ones and given them mercy, and have caused them to dwell before me. But sinners have come before me, so that by judgment I shall destroy them from before the face of the earth. So again, the righteous will be given mercy, but the sinners in the earth will be destroyed. That ends chapter 45. Chapter 46, verse 1 says, and there I beheld the Ancient of Days, whose head was like white wool, and with him another whose countenance resembled that of man. His countenance was full of grace, like one of the holy angels. So next, Enoch sees the Ancient of Days. We know that by Revelation, the Ancient of Days is referring to Michael, who is also Adam. And he says that he sees him come, and his hair is white like wool, and his there's another with him. This is kind of similar to the book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 9. It says, I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire. So he sees the Ancient of Days, who is Michael or Adam, and he sees another that he says whose countenance resembled that of man. And it also says that his countenance was full of grace, like one of the holy angels. Now, if you haven't figured it out already, this one who resembles a man, or mankind, is referring to Jesus Christ. And so Jesus Christ is with the Ancient of Days, and he looks like a man, but his countenance is full of grace, like one of the angels. And it says, "Then I asked one of the angels who went with me and who showed me every secret concerning the one who is born of man, 'Who is this, and from whence is he who is going as the prototype of the Ancient of Days?' And he answered and said to me, 'This is the Son of Man, to whom righteousness belongs, with whom righteousness has dwelt, and who will reveal all the treasures of that which is concealed. For the Lord of the Spirits has chosen him, and he is destined to be victorious before the Lord of the Spirits in everlasting uprightness.'" So Enoch sees this one who's with the Ancient of Days, who he says was born of man. This phrase "man," you can read it in a couple ways. It's not I don't think it's the word Hebrew Adam. So it's probably Ish, which means man in general. Whereas Adam can mean man in general, but it also can refer to the first man. And so this is probably using the term Ish. When I think of it, I am reminded of Moses chapter 7 verse 35, which says, "Behold, I am God, man of holiness is my name, man of counsel is my name, and endless and eternal is my name also." So God's name is man, and he could be man of holiness or man of counsel, or whatever other good title you could probably put on there. And so I see this reference to man as referring to God the Father as man of holiness. And Jesus, and of course this person is Jesus Christ, who is the Son of Man, the Son of Man of holiness. He's also called the prototype of the Ancient of Days. The prototype refers to the first thing, the first created. It's the example by which everything else is based on. And so Jesus Christ is the prototype of the Ancient of Days. And Enoch is told that this is the Son of Man, and righteousness belongs to him, and righteousness dwells with him, and he will reveal all the treasures which are concealed. And so what I see this all is all the things that the Lord hasn't told us yet, all the secrets that are we're willing to and able to receive. The Lord gives to us, and that is treasure. And the Son of Man is destined to be victorious before the Lord of the Spirits. And it says, "This Son of Man, whom thou beholdest, shall unseat kings, and the mighty ones from their couches, and the strong ones from their thrones. You shall loosen the bridles of the powerful, and break in pieces the teeth of sinners. You shall hurl kings from their thrones, and their kingdoms because they will not exalt and glorify him, and neither do they obey him, from whence their kingdoms were granted to them. The countenance of the mighty shall he cast down, filling them with shame. Darkness shall be their habitation, and worms shall be their bed. Nor from their bed shall they hope to be again raised, because they exalted not the name of the Lord of the spirits. So the Son of Man shall not only do all these good things, he's also going to do a lot of powerful things, which result in the overthrow of all the wicked. And it's important to know this, because all throughout, wherever there's power centralized, that's where the wicked are, because they're always seeking for power and wealth. And the Lord is going to cause all of these wicked ones to be overthrown. It says, darkness shall be their habitation. Being cast out of the presence of God, they don't have light, because God is light, and without God you don't have light. Therefore you're in darkness. A worm shall be their bed. A colorful metaphor for the torment in their flesh. And it says, nor from their bed shall they hope to be again raised. Now, if we see that as referring to the resurrection, then I would say this is an interpolation. We might also interpret it as referring to that they shall not be resurrected on this earth, and they shall not retain their former position. And so we know that through Christ, all who are born in this earth will be resurrected. But if they're wicked, they're not going to be able to inherit this earth. So instead, they're going to have to be resurrected in some other place. And so that might be a reference to that. And then it says, and they have become the judges of the stars of heaven. They raise their hands into the Most High, while treading upon earth and dwelling in her. So these wicked ones who rule over people, they're called here the judges of the stars of heaven. And what that is referring to, remember that the Book of Enoch says that the stars of heaven are referring to the righteous who will be faithful in this earth. And so the wicked often rule over the righteous because of the wickedness of the people. When people are wicked, they get wicked governments, and those who are righteous are then subject to those wicked governments, and that leads to oppression and persecution. And it says that they raised their hands into the Most High, while treading upon earth and dwelling in her. When I read that phrase, I see the phrase "raise their hands into the Most High" as meaning that while they're on this earth, they try to make themselves into a god. And so by reaching into the Most High, they're trying to obtain the position that God has. But we know that can't be done on this earth. And it says they manifest all their deeds in oppression. All their deeds are oppression. And so everything that these wicked ones do, who have a rulership or power, everything they do is about oppressing others. It says, their power shall be in their wealth, and their devotion is to the gods which they have fashioned with their own hands. But they deny the name of the Lord of the spirits. So these wicked ones, the reason why they're so powerful is because they have all the wealth, all the riches, and they use that in order to maintain their power. But their devotion is to the gods which they have fashioned with their own hands. When we think about idols nowadays, we tend to think of the old days where there was a lot of worshipping of like statues. And though that might be referenced to here, when we think of idolatry, it doesn't have to be like that, in that you worship like an idol. An idol can be anything that you put ahead of God. And the things that these people do, the works that they do, they are what they are focused on, and that is a god to them. There's also some weird techno cult of powerful technocrats who are the merchants and great men of the earth, who their goal is to create some type of artificial intelligence and call it a god as well, and then they'll listen to it because it's smarter than them. And so, in that way, that's also another way we could see here that they're worshiping something that they made with their own hands. And despite of having all of the power and wealth in the world, they deny the name of the Lord of the Spirits, who caused them to have it. It says, and they persecute the houses of his congregations, and the faithful who cling to the Lord of the Spirits. So wherever there are those who are striving to live after the ways of the Lord, you'll also find persecution. The wicked, whenever they have power, will always persecute the righteous. It's simply in their nature, because they sold themselves to Satan. That is the end of chapter 46. And so we move on to chapter 47. And it says, in those days the prayers of the righteous and the blood of the righteous shall ascend from the earth into the presence of the Lord of the Spirits. In those days shall the holy ones who dwell above in the heavens shall unite with one voice and petition, supplicate, praise, and give thanks, and bless the name of the Lord of the Spirits on account of the blood of the righteous which has been shed, and that the prayers of the righteous may not be in vain before the Lord of the Spirits, that for them he would execute judgment, and that his patience may not endure forever. So in the when the Lord will bring about judgment, it'll be done in answer to the prayers of the righteous and the blood of the righteous. And there's a kind of a similar thought to this, and here it's talking about that those who have died before, who are now the holy ones, who dwell above in the heavens, they are going to cry out in petition and supplication and praise and thanks to the Lord on behalf of the blood of the righteous, and because of the prayers of the righteous. In the Book of Mormon chapter 8, starting in verse 23, it says, search the prophecies of Isaiah, behold, I cannot write them. Yea, behold, I say unto you, that those saints who have gone before me, who have possessed this land, shall cry, yea, even from the dust will they cry unto the Lord. And as the Lord liveth, he will remember the covenant which he hath made with them. And he knoweth their prayers, that they were in behalf of their brethren, and he knoweth their faith, for in his name could they remove mountains, and in his name could they cause the earth to shake. And by the power of his word did they cause prisons to tumble to the earth, Yea, even the fiery furnace could not harm them, neither wild beasts nor poisonous serpents, because of the power of his word. And behold, their prayers were also in behalf of him, that the Lord should suffer to bring these things forth. And no one need say, they shall not come, for they surely shall. For the Lord hath spoken it, for out of the earth shall they come, by the hand of the Lord, and none can stay it. And it shall come in a day when it shall be said that miracles are done away. It shall come even as if one should speak from the dead. And it shall come in a day when the blood of saints shall cry unto the Lord, because of secret combinations and the works of darkness. And so you can kind of see some of the similarities there. And it says, in those days I beheld the Ancient of Days, while he sat upon the throne of his glory, and the books of the living were opened before him, and all the powers which were above the heavens stood around and before him. So this thought is also contained within Daniel chapter 7. We read verse 9 about the Ancient of Days. Continuing on from there, in verse 10 it says, a fiery stream issued and came forth from before him. Thousands ministered unto him, and 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. The judgment was set, and the books were opened. And so, we see there about the Ancient of Days opening the books of the living and the dead. And then it says, then were the hearts of the saints filled with joy, because the number of the righteous has been offered, the prayers of the saints have been heard, and the blood of the righteous has been emitted before the Lord of the spirits. And so when these things take place, when the Ancient of Days opens the books of judgment, it says the saints will be filled with joy. The number of the righteous has been offered. This phrase, the number of the righteous being offered, is referring to all those who gave up their lives for the sake of Jesus Christ in death. And so they're the martyrs. They offered themselves to the Lord in order to show that they were willing to follow Jesus wherever he went. It says, the prayers of the saints have been heard, and the blood of the righteous has been emitted before the Lord of the spirits. And so, at this time, that's when the prayers of the saints will finally be answered, and the blood of the righteous will come before the Lord of the spirits, and will be answered with the judgment of upon the wicked. And this is one thing I really love about the Book of Enoch. It's that the Enoch is always trying to remind us that no matter how bad things might get, the Lord will always keep his word. Now, if we were living righteously in a wicked society, then very likely that there's persecution. And no matter how bad things get for us as disciples of Jesus Christ, no matter what happens, the Lord will always fulfill his word. And his promise to us is that if we're righteous, even to the point of death, where we have to give up our own lives, then we'll be resurrected and receive exaltation with the Lord. And eternal life. And so we don't have to be worried about what goes on in this life, as long as we always remember that the Lord is going to bring about vengeance in his own due time, and it's going to be a long time, because the Lord is a very patient person. The Lord is God, and he's very patient with us, but he will bring about the judgment that he promised to do, and we will be blessed beyond our ability to understand. And so that is the end of chapter 47, and we will continue with more about the Son of Man. And I leave this with you in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.